Okay, hello everyone. My group have 5 members. Hà Trang, Yit Yin, Jin Ming, Hùng Mạnh, and me. Today we talk about the advertising. We have 5 main parts. As you can see in the slide, we talk about the importance of advertising, the influence of advertising. The next is example and brand name. And finally, we talk about the advantage and disadvantage of advertising. And now let's start with the importance of advertising. The globalization and growth are becoming increasingly in 21st century. To adapt with competitive market, advertising and marketing activity become useful tool for business. Advertising is means of communication with user of a product or service, which is effective form of business. Advertising is always present, though the people may not aware of it. To Today, advertising use every possible media to get its message through the message through advertisement are paid by the people who send them and are intended to inform or influence people who receive them. Besides that, it's also an effective promotion of goods and service to general public with goal of attracting attention and increasing sales in business. It has crucial role in public good may maybe both education and persuasive depend on traditional and new media to encourage customer to buy good and service. You can next the slide. Advertising benefits the manufacturer in several ways. It promotes production by making people aware of existing of goods, which leads to make them make a purchase, resulting in the increased sale by producing more to adapt with higher demand. Therefore, advertising allows the company to introduce new products to their consumer in a cost-effective manner. Many advertisements always include the customer service number of link to a company website which consumer can access. For instance, consumer goods like food, soft drink, broadcast media is frequently used. Besides that, it also reduce expense cost of the personal selling by advertising can reach a large number of customers. And the next Jimmy will introduce about the influence of advertising.
Thank you, Thủy, for introducing me. Now we will discuss about how advertising affects the market. First, we will look at advertising in today's market. Nowadays, there are 4 types of markets. There are perfectly competitive market, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. The first kind is perfectly competitive market. It is a market with the participation of many buyers and sellers. They share the same goods. The participants are price taker, and the company are free to enter or exit the markets. And because all participants do not have the right to determine the price of the product, and the products are identical, so advertising is not used in this market. The second type of market is monopolistic competition. It is a market in which there is only one company who sells a product with no close substitute, and also it is a prime maker. And because the market has only one firm selling the exclusive product, advertising is also not used in this type of market. Okay, next slide. The third type of market is oligopoly. It has only a few sellers with the same product, and often the tendency of the firm will be to cooperate with each other to become a monopoly to earn higher profits. Therefore, advertising is not really necessary in the markets. And the final type of market is monopolistic competition. In this type of market, many sellers are involved with goods with different characteristics. They are not practical. They have the right to determine the price of their products. So advertising is a useful tool for companies to make their products known to more people. So in conclusion, in today's major market categories, monopolistic competition is one that focus on advertising to promote products. Next, we will focus on the effect of advertising on shifting of the demand curve. Imagine that there is a product that you are not familiar with, or that you do not have enough information about to justify purchasing it. For the example, we can think of computers. So maybe you go to a computer chat store and start looking around, and at the chat store you will see many displays that contain information about the product. And if done correctly, this information or the advertising will make you decide to purchase the product. This means that you are experiencing a change in your taste and preference in a positive way, and this results in an increase in demand. Now we need to figure out whether or not the advertising will affect the supply curve. The supply curve takes the shape of the marginal cost curve for the firm. So if advertising it affects marginal cost, then it will shift supply. Imagine if the advertising took the form of new packaging with either brighter colors or perhaps an attached coupon. Because every product would require this new packaging, it would affect marginal cost, and therefore would shift the supply curve lab. It shifts the supply curve lab because cost of input went up and it creates a decrease in supply. On the other hand, imagine a company that printed a vinyl banner to display at your university, and that banner cost them a certain amount to make, and it's not dependent on how many products are being sold. And this type of advertising would not affect marginal cost, and therefore would not shift the supply curve. So to see if advertising affects supply or not, it depends on the case we consider. So to understand more about the role of advertising in business, right now I will invite Chang to provide specific examples.
Thank you, Ming, for introducing me. Well, I will show you some examples about advertisement in businesses. Some well-known firms have used advertising in their marketing tactics to promote their products. As an example, consider Nike. Nike is the world's #1 global supplier of shoes, apparel, and sport equipment. Nike products are well-known and luxurious, yet many people like and pay for every Nike item. Typically, many items that have just gone on sale are quickly sold out. Nike has developed a 4P marketing strategy that is solidly established, in which promotion plan is an important part for sustaining a strong brand image. Advertising is one of the most important parts for sustaining a strong brand image. Advertising is one of the most significant components, accounting for the majority of the brand's capacity to attract customers. So Nike places a high value on advertising, particularly that involving professional athletes and sport teams, as some pictures you can see on the slides. Direct marketing initiatives for the cooperation include direct engagement with college, local sport teams, and other groups. Nike's 4P marketing approach involves the firm making direct contact with groups in order to offer items to a member of that organization and to use the organization to promote themselves. Besides Nike, VinFast also have effectively adapted marketing methods to their products, despite the fact that it is a new Vietnamese automobile company that had just recently entered the automotive industry in 2017. It swiftly rose to prominence as one of Vietnam's most well-known and profitable automotive manufacturers. VinFast has developed and implemented effective marketing strategies, typically leveraging social media. VinFast's social media marketing strategy is to target the media on social networks, where Vietnamese consumers are most likely to contact and endorse the brand. The seeding volume of this brand got a favorable outcome on VinFast's official fan page, with up to 90% positive feedback. Furthermore, when questioned about VinFast, up to 80% of respondents are familiar with the brand and are looking forward to the debut of VinFast automobile product lines in the local market. Furthermore, VinFast has an exceptionally successful 4P approach, in which VinFast employs mixed promotion, having developed regulations on promotional incentives, advertising campaigns, and extensive communication. The two examples above are indicative of how advertising is used in marketing strategy. As a result, brands may not only establish their own brands, but also generate enormous revenues. In the next part, Comac will show you about the brand names.
Thank you for inviting me. So I will give my understanding about the brand names and how brand names affect advertising. So you can switch to the next slide. So first of all, I'll explain what is a brand name. A brand name or a trade name is usually a proper noun. They are applied by manufacturers to their products and service. Brand name can simply be their owners' names, like for example, Johnson and Johnson. These days, brand names are most often strategically throughout marketing tools, and they are being used to bring benefits to the companies. Brand names are essentials in advertising because it signifies what you stand in the market. It depicts your value and products. For the example here, here we have 3 brands, Nikes and Asics. They are 2 sportwear brands. They produce sneakers and athlete wears. And also there is Lamborghini. They make sport cars and luxury cars. So when it comes to advertising, there are 2 types of firms in the market. Firm that sells highly recognized product. They usually spend more of their revenue to advertise. For example, Pepsi and Cola. They are great examples. When it comes to the cola or soft drinks, they are almost indistinguishable when compared to the others. But the difference here is how they spend their money on advertising. So we can clearly see that Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, they are more popular because they are advertised everywhere on social media and also on TV. So because of that, Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, they are sold at a higher price than generic cola. And the second type of firm that is the firm that sells highly differentiated products. So for example, perfume, satellite dish, fishing rod, they spend almost no money on advertising. The reason behind this is the differences of their products in the market. Their products are easily to recognize. Perfume is a great example. Each brand have their own perfume formula. So when you are in a cosmetic store, so you can easily figure out what types of perfume by the smell and what is the brand of the perfume. From the high end to the middle class perfume, you can know by just smelling. Move on to the next. I will be talking about the argument on brand names. So there are 2 sides of the argument: brand names or just brand names. This is explained by the economics Edward Chamberlain. He believes that brand names are just brand names. They don't show the quality of the product. So, and he thinks that it is bad for the consumer because what they're really paying for the products is the brand names. And there are there is the other side of the argument. Brand names are indications of quality goods. There are some economists that defend the brand names. They're saying that a brand name is a useful way to indicate the quality of products. So, for example, picture a real case scenario: McDonald's restaurant versus the local restaurants. McDonald's restaurant is a franchise. So, for example, when McDonald's food went bad, the news would spread and they would lose a lot of revenue. Not just the Pacific restaurant, but the whole franchise got affected and they lost a lot of money. But however, when compared to the local restaurant, when the local restaurant food went bad, they still lost revenue, but the damage is not as big as the damage done to McDonald's franchise. So that is it for my part about explaining how advertising affect brands and brand names. So moving on to Ian part, she'll give explain about advantages and disadvantages of advertising.
Thank you, Mike. And now I will move to the last part. It's about advantages and disadvantages of advertisement. So about the advantages. Towards to suppliers, we have some advantages. Firstly, advertisement is free in sales. According to CommerceMate, advertising helps the business in increasing its sales volumes. It draws a growing number of individuals to the company's products and persuade them to buy them. Secondly, advertisement keeps steady demand. From economics discussion, seasonal fluctuation on demand for products are smoothened by advertising. For example, umbrellas can be used only in the rainy seasons, but the advertising is asked us to use them in summer to protect ourselves from the direct rays from the sun. Hence, the firm does not need to close its sale during the off-season. And thirdly, advertisement creates the meeting competition. Advertising is an effective tool for business to face competitive process in the market. It provides detailed information regarding products that help in differentiating them from competitors' products and acquiring a competitive advantages. Firstly, advertisement will introduce the new products. Advertising is a medium through which companies introduce and create awareness regarding their products in the market. It explains the feature and uses of new product to customer. The producer finds it very easy to communicate the release of new product to the consumer in a very efficient and cost-effective way through advertisement. It simplifies the work of salesmen and also allows the customer to reach out to other products. And last but not least, advertisement can create employment opportunity. It can ease employment problem by generating more employment opportunities. When the employees know that the products of a firm are advertised and have developed sufficient trust in the public, they shall be assured that their jobs are safe and they shall receive bonuses on account of profits made by the firm. It also enhances the qualities of a good salesman. And towards the consumer, the first advantage is improvement in quality. The producer always try to retain their old consumer and make new ones by introducing some special changes in their product to make them different from the others. Manufacturers are forced to maintain better standards of the commodity of retained consumers. Usually, goods are advertised under brand names. When a person is moved by the advertisement to use the products, they persist in the hope that the content of particular brand will be better than the other brands of the same good. And the second is convenience. Advertising offers a defined that positive assurance to the consumer that they will not be overcharged for the advertised product. When we know that we have to buy a product of a particular brand name, we will not waste our time in searching for the best one. We can make a choice even before we go to the market. And the final advantage toward to the consumer is the education of consumer. Advertisement helps us to become aware of the uses of a new product and the functioning of the electronics item. If there is no advertisement, we shall never be able to know about the new companies and that enter the market or introduction of new and better products in the market. It also convinces them to adopt new ways of life, giving up their old habits and interior and having a better standard of living. And towards the society, firstly, advertisement will sustain the press. To support the newspapers, periodicals, journals, look for the advertiser, press and look to the advertisement. In the absence of income from advertising, the newspaper have to be produced at a higher cost and may be able to keep themselves free from their competitors. Second, advertisement generates employment. Since through advertisement, producers increase the sale and reach out to the consumer quickly, it increases the employment level in the country as more labor will now be required to boost up the production. Advertising is capable of employing a large section of society, including the professional like painters, photographers, singers, cartoonists, musicians, models, and people working in the different advertising agencies. And lastly, they encourage in research. When manufacturers are assured of subsistence profits, they undertake research and discover new products or new uses for existing products. Advertising puts forward this assurance and thereby encourages industrial research with all its advantages. And now it's about the disadvantages. According to economic discussion, disadvantages of advertising have been summarized into 4 parts. First, advertisement can confuse the buyers. A major drawback of advertising is mispresentation of facts regarding products and services. Advertisers usually mispresent unreal benefits of a product and make tall claims to excite people to indulge in action leading to their benefit, but opposed to consumer self-interest. They come to realize later that the information given in the advertisement was something else, whereas the actual product was quite different from it. The people lose confidence in advertising because of the wrong presentation. In this reference, it is said that advertising is confused rather than helps. And second, advertisement increased costs. Advertising raises the cost of production offered by the business for sale in the market. The business incur huge expenditure on advertisement activity, which they recover by charging high prices for their product. It is much debated whether advertising induces additional costs upon to product which the community had to pay. But at the same time, it would be unjust to infer that if the advertising cost were cut down, the wood would necessarily be cheaper. Advertising is one of the items of cost, but it is a cost that brings saving in its waste on the distribution side. Moreover, advertisement creates wastes. Advertising is wasteful. Many people may not read, hear, or view your advertisement. Press, radio, and TV advertisement have a short lifespan and relative costly, prescriptive units of space of time. Competitive advertisement yields waste as it enables only resurfing of customer one company stealing customer from others. And finally, advertisement encourages monopoly. Big corporations through wide advertisement program create their monopoly in the market, able to create a permanent place for them among customers and reduce the entry of new competition. As is, most advertising is devoted to the promotion of branded merchandise. The manufacturer usually choose a particular brand names or trademark for their product and uses advertising to create an impression on the mind of the consumer that their brand or product is superior to other brand. Only the manufacturer can afford to spend lavishly on the extensive and intensive advertising to retain and even enlarge their market share. And this is all about our presentation. And thank you for listening.